Hello loves, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the difference between Florida water and Peruvian Florida water for those who are going to want to know how to use these and why they're used, the colors, all of the things. We're going to dive in and talk about it. But before we get started, just a reminder, we are going to Egypt, y'all. We're going to be doing an Egypt spiritual retreat in January. I am so excited to get to go on this retreat because we're going to be doing so much spiritual work, but we're also going to be having fun because we're going to the temples, we're going to the museums, we're going to the pyramids, we're going to we're going to be in ceremony, we're going to be doing a lot of spiritual work because we're doing a full moon and Leo ceremony. So it's going to be a very solar power ceremony that we're going to be doing because we're going to be doing some recalling your power from other lifetimes work. We're going to be also taking a spiritual bath from the Nile. We're going to be sailing in the Nile, which is going to be amazing. We're going to be taking the train. We're going to be going through multiple cities. Meals are included. It's just going to be an amazing time, and I'm really excited to get to spend this time with you guys. So definitely make sure you reserve your spot. There's still 2 spots left for the early bird if you want the additional discount. With that being said, we're going to jump into this video and talk about the differences between these 2 Florida waters because there are very distinctive differences. Traditionally, everybody knows the OGs of OGs which is Florida water. You can see has this very green, aqua-y kind of almost aqua-y, not really blue, but more on a green side color. Whereas Peruvian Florida water has this yellow color as well. I will have it linked down below for those who are going to want to get their hands on it. But there is a big difference between these 2. I would say that the first thing that you should know about the difference between Florida water and Peruvian Florida water is that Peruvian Florida water is mainly more known to be used in South America, as it is called Peruvian Florida water. So obviously it is used in Peru as well, but it is used when it comes to spiritualists, when it comes to curanderos. A lot of people like to call them shamans, but shaman is not really, it's not an indigenous word. Even to South America, it's not an indigenous word, it's a European word. So it's mainly those who practice different forms of plant medicine, and indigenous also medicine as well, will use different types of spiritual colognes, Peruvian Florida water being one of them. So this is better known for it to be used in South America, where regular Florida water is something that's also known to be used in South America, but also within the Caribbean and within North America as well. Florida water is kind of like what you would call the standard of spiritual colognes for its cleansing properties and blessing kind of properties. One of the things that you should know in the way that I was taught when it comes to Peruvian Florida water is that Peruvian Florida water is a lot stronger energetically than regular Florida water. That's one of the things that I was told when I was taught how to work with Peruvian Florida water. And when I started working with it, I noticed the difference from just using regular Florida water. I love Florida water. I use it all the time. You guys know I use it all the time because every time I do a botanica haul, you guys see me buy the big, the jumbo refill so I can refill my glass jar. Which, by the way, for those who are going to ask, yes, I bought the glass jar version of the Florida water because I just think it looks better than the plastic one. Can we just, so I got the glass one and I just refill it all the time because she's just a very beautiful bottle and I just love her. So I just keep reusing this one. But yeah, so it is a lot stronger energetically. As far as the scent difference, so there is a scent difference as well. They're both Florida water, so they have that lemony base. But I do feel like there's a pepperiness kind of that is in the Peruvian Florida water that makes it a little bit more spicy. So let me just try to describe the scent to you guys real quick. It's more spicy. There's something also, the acidity, I feel like it's also a little bit more on point. You could smell the lemon in there is way more in your face versus regular Florida water is just, it's a fresher energy and a soft citrus versus this is a peppery peppery. It's almost tastes like one of the, it almost smells like one of those lemon candies. Yeah, it almost smells like, it's sweet. It has like a sweetness, so it almost smells like one of those lemon candies that's just like really sweet. Where Florida water is a lot more soft and subtle, this has a little bit of a kick to it with like a pepperiness, but still has that sweetness, almost like powdery in a way as well. So they do have slightly different scents. They are similar. They can be used for both exactly the same thing. So cleansing, protection, they're often used for limpias. They're often, you know, they essentially can be used interchangeably in that regard. It's just that Peruvian Florida water does have the reputation of being energetically stronger, and you have to kind of work with them to see like which one you like the best. I feel like I like working with the Peruvian Florida water when I'm doing certain specific rituals, especially if I am trying to work with like, if I'm doing some sort of like banishment, if I'm doing some sort of like, really anytime I need a little bit more of an additional kick, especially when it comes to cleansings, this one is really good because it's often used for limpias. So I really like using these when I'm doing like a deep cleanse, a deep, you know, like, or even if I'm doing some energy work and I need to just cleanse my own energy. You guys know that I have like a series on the channel where we talk about different ways of using Florida water. And you can use Florida water in so many different ways, just putting it in your hands, like putting it up here in your crown just to cleanse your head, especially if you like have a headache or something. You could put it put a dash in your laundry to, you know, release any of the energies from your clothes, you know, from, especially like, let's say you had like a bad week and you're doing laundry and all of your clothes has that, you know, that energy, that stink energy from that week. You're going to want to add a little Florida water in there. So I like to do that when it comes to my clothes. And sometimes I'll do it with this, and sometimes I'll actually do it with this, especially if I'm doing something where I'm blessing my ritual clothes. Like if there's some sort of ceremony that I'm going to be doing and my clothes is a factor, like what I need to wear, I'm going to use Peruvian Florida water for that. I will add a little dash just to cleanse and clean and bless. I would add Peruvian Florida water because it just has a different, like once you charge it, it has a different vibration to it than regular Florida water. And mind you, this is one of my, you guys know, Florida water period is one of my go-tos spiritually. Once it's like charged and ready to go, it's like one of my go-tos. But one of the things that I notice is that spirits also like, first of all, one of the things about Florida water period is that you will notice that a lot of spirits like it. This is why it's often used to like cleanse altars and like bless the space, because it's really great for cleansing, removing negative energy. And to most of the time, all spirits like the Florida water smell, the scent of it, because fragrance is used as a spiritual offering, but also as a spiritual tool. So I noticed that all of my spirits like it when I cleanse their altar with Florida water, but I also like to use this to cleanse my altars, or if I'm doing ceremony, I would cleanse the base of it with this as well. And it just has a little bit of a kick. It's a little bit more amplified. There's something a little bit more, I don't know how to really like fully explain it, but where this is perfect, where this is perfected, this has like, it's like a little bit up a notch if you're working spiritually. And I feel like let's say you're doing deeper work that it just requires you to, you know, like you're doing heavier work, or you need to do like a deep cleanse or something like that, or some deep release work. I would work with Peruvian Florida water, probably over regular Florida water for that, even though, again, they can be used interchangeably for exactly the same things that Florida water is amazing for. So yeah, so I would definitely recommend getting it. I like having both on hand for different things. I also recently got like a little mini one, which is in here because I just place an order for something. I'll do like a little mini hauls for you guys. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video on these two babies. And yeah, definitely recommend trying it on yourself, you know, getting yourself a bottle, getting to know the differences. The scents are slightly different, but they're also very similar, and they're also, you know, the color differences. But other than that, they can be used interchangeably, and you know, they'll still help you get the job done. That's what's important, right? Anyway, I love you guys. I, again, will have this, and I'll have both linked down below if you guys need to get it. I love you guys. I will see you on the next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check out the Patreon. And yeah, have a good day.